Judge Fye has been active in advocating for YNW Melly's release from jail. At his initial hearing, Melly would appear very irate and angry, but his demeanor would change as soon as the court began discussing his release from county jail. After YNW Melly spent 2,159 days in our jail, everyone was shocked to hear that he would have to choose his solicitors carefully.
Let me repeat myself. Mr. Devins has to make an informed decision about who he wants as lawyers. He's now been sitting in our jail for 2,159 days. So, how long would you like to be able to make that decision?
I can't determine when the investigation will be over. That's up to the Broward Sheriff's Office, but I can, as I said, I'm just asking for at least a day or two.
You'll decide by tomorrow. I've also reserved all of.
When the judge learned that Melly had been detained for 2,159 days without being proven guilty, even he was shocked and threatened to grant him bond before the prosecutors presented their final defense. Melly's case would then be reviewed by the judge, who would learn why she had been detained for so long, which is totally illegal. Raven Liberty, one of YNW Melly's defense lawyers, is also supposedly being investigated for allegedly meddling with witnesses. The rapper is awaiting a retrial since, regrettably, nobody knows whether or not she is being questioned. It appears that the prosecution is fabricating a question in order to postpone YNW Melly's trial. This prompted YNW Melly's attorney to take the stand and argue for YNW Melly's release from prison. His first piece of evidence was that Melly had texted his ex-girlfriend when she was hidden in a bush and running from the men who were perpetrating the crime.
Or he's saying that someone just shot the car up and was trying to shoot them. So I asked him if he was okay, where he was, and he's like, there's a car coming behind him, like hiding. He was like, there's some, yeah, he's like, yeah, there's some, I think they're still out here or something. So I'm like, are you okay? He's like, I'm okay. I said, well, where are Zach and Juvie? And he said, I don't know if they're in the car. I think they're...
Demonstrating that an automobile-carrying opposition street people was chasing YNW Melly, despite the fact that the prosecutors acknowledged at Melly's initial trial that no handgun was ever discovered. This is what Melly's solicitors would bring up with the new court.
So the first thing is I didn't have a firearm, so I can't know which firearm I'm going to use in order to replicate any of my tests. So I can't make tests for this determination because I don't know what was used.
As Melly's attorneys fought for her release, the prosecutor stood up and informed the judge that Melly would be facing a life sentence for witness tampering and a life sentence for the murders of Juvie and YNW Sack Chaser. They made a great deal of noise in the courtroom rather than allowing this to occur.
Like 6 new charges against Demmons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
The prosecution claims Melly has been phoning random people in the real world from his detention cell to try to persuade his ex-girlfriend not to testify against him at trial. However, in an exclusive interview that revealed the code words he used to persuade her not to testify, even YNW Juvie's father would confirm that Melly's ex-girlfriend is reportedly aware of the truth.
This kind of crazy way that Melly was communicating. He wasn't allowed to use the phone, but he was passing notes to people, and then this person's calling this person, and then that person.
They like to me, they going through extreme measures, trying to cover up or convince people not to testify, like Mariah mom. They was using code words like Rihanna, and they said Rocket's baby mom.
If found guilty, Melly faces a life sentence for witness tampering alone. In fact, the publication of this material answers the question of why Melly has received such awful treatment in prison. According to an interview with Melly's mother, Melly has been prohibited from using a phone or even viewing his own mail while incarcerated, which is against the law. However, if the authorities have proof that Melly used the jail phone to interfere with witnesses, then it makes sense why they are holding him.
Son has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to just to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail, they don't give it to him.
The federal government refused to restrict YNW Melly from using a phone until they had proof that she was deceiving witnesses, and would instead keep it a secret until the trial started, at which point Jamie King would express her grief for her son and her helplessness because he isn't even being treated humanely in prison.
You saw Melly's statement just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life. As a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless. Broward Sheriff's Office definitely needs to be investigated. I mean, they are making up their own rules. We've tried to go to court about this situation. The judge really doesn't have any jurisdiction when it comes to the jail, because we actually had a hearing about the mistreatment of him, and the jail they make their own rules. And I don't think that's fair, because I know that they need to answer to someone too.
However, the media covered this extensively, particularly from insiders in the sector. In response, Charleston White would say that Melly shouldn't receive preferential punishment simply because he is a well-known rapper, especially if he used jail phones to trick witnesses.
The YNW Melly, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated. Yeah, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated, homie. Homie, when you take a life, homie, you ain't got a right to complain about a motherfucking thing about being mistreated. When you done chose to play somebody.
Even attracting a rap artist who would come and talk about Jamie King's recent stress.
She real, bro. You know she real.
She's stressed out. I heard she had
Yeah, she real, and I reached my hand out to him, 'cause I'm real. Yeah, I reached out to him, bro. I met his mom, and she a good.
But let me explain, since this is where things start to go very wrong. The prosecutors continue to look into him, and YNW Melly produced a fresh insurance file to ensure that he never gets a bond out of jail. The fact that Melly was close to the late King Vol led to her being imprisoned as a renegade Oblak member. Melly recently confided in King Vol a secret and asked for his help in handling a scenario where your two best friends, Sack Jazer and Juvie, are pursuing you for money.
Did Ron really tell you that Melly told him that he was two friends?
He ain't come out and say, like, we got into an argument. And so, you know, if when people can say something without saying it. And so he told me, like, once I posted what I posted, Von was mad at me. Bro, why you put there, bro? Walk the bam. I'm like, you sitting up here, like, you know the love we got. You do this for us, but you gonna trust that it's two friends? And he said, them was trying to extort him. And so I'm like, if they was trying to extort him, then why are you still around?
YNW is reportedly a registered LLC. If you are aware of King Von's background and how he handled his situation, you can probably guess what he would have suggested W. Melly do. This was the piece of evidence that the prosecutors had failed to consider during the first trial, which motivated Melly. However, they ultimately found more evidence on YNW Melly's cell phone, starting with the text message in which, just hours after the crime had been committed, Melly admitted to it. Melly and Borland performed love, promoted and sold merchandise, and so forth in exchange for money that would be transferred through the YNW bank account.
Ezekiel Bruno account asked him if he was okay, and his response was, I did that, and placed a smiley face emoji.
And the next message from 10/26/2018 at 16:02 from Eastern Standard Time. The YNW Melly account says what?
After that, SHHHH.
However, Melly's phone also displayed a Facebook Live video that had been stored. Melly and Borland are seen dancing in a parking lot not long after the crime was committed.
Melly still turned regardless of what happened this early morning. He's still out here being very positive. Turned still. Hey! No, still turned.
a brave face and leave. To make sure Melly didn't leave Borland jail, on a sheet of paper that listed the names and appearances of every jury in Melly's first trial, they used the fact that they would subsequently be charged with new crimes against Melly and Borland as leverage, which ultimately made matters worse.
Melly's co-defendant YNW Borland was booked into a Miami jail Monday night and is being held behind bars on an out-of-county warrant. We just confirmed the warrant is out of Broward County for witness tampering. The warrant obtained by Law and Crime Network states as follows. On or about April 10, 2023, continuing through and including July 22, 2023, Cortland Henry, aka Bortland, along with others, did unlawfully and knowingly engage in misleading conduct toward another person with the intent to cause or induce them to withhold testimony. The warrant continues the alleged witness had been summoned by the legal process to the jury trial of Jamel Dimmons, aka YNW Melly. The dates in the warrant are important. Jury selection for Melly started in mid-April, and a judge declared a mistrial on July 22nd, the same day the warrant claims Bortland allegedly tampered with a witness.
In order for jurors to properly comprehend the gravity of the situation, they are supposed to remain masked throughout the trial process. So this is completely unlawful. Here's the DJ Academic's response.
Keep it real, this is sloppy. Bortland, how the fuck you gonna have the notebook of the jurors in your house? Holy shit. Like, come the fuck on. It's like doing and having the surveillance tape in your DVD player or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like they raid your crib and the surveillance footage of the is in your DVD player. They're like, oh, okay, thank you, brother. This can't be at your crib.
That OG boy would even take notice of this and talk about how the feds could do anything they wanted to Melly, regardless of whether it was legal or not.
Now they're putting even more charges on him, and then
when they want you, they want you. I knew they wanted them bad when they waited for that law to get passed. So it'd be 8-4.
Oh right, yeah.
They waited all the way till that law got passed to take him to trial.
Yeah, he was in jail for what, 2 years, 3 years?
Yeah, they could have been took you to trial.
You're right.
They waited till that law got passed and took him to trial a couple months later. When they want you, man. Just don't see how he didn't get a bond after a fucking mistrial.
Yeah.
That made me like, God damn.
Yeah.
Like, after a mistrial, that doesn't happen, bro.